While working as a mole within the X-Men for a shadowy organization known as the Consortium, Storm did the unthinkable. She killed Wolverine, and that's where our story begins. Logan had a feeling something was wrong. He always did. But this, even he never saw it coming. Moving through the alleyways, he followed a scent that didn't make sense. Storm's. Aurora Munro. He had fought beside her, bled beside her, trusted her with his life. But something was off. Different. And Logan never ignored his instincts. Jean's voice cut through his thoughts, her sigh link slipping into his mind. Scott's worried about you. I am too. And I hate lying for you. Logan smirked. Slim will get over it. I won't, Jean shot back. If I lost you, Logan, I don't know what I'd do. He knew exactly how she felt. He just didn't say it. Jean's voice cut in again. Logan? No response. Logan. Stay out of my head, darling, he muttered, firm but not unkind. I'm your backup. Not tonight, he said. I fly solo. If you need me, I can be there in a heartbeat. Logan smirked. Yeah? You always read my mind this much? Or am I just special? Jean didn't answer. Her breath hitched. Logan could feel the shift. She knew. He did too. But the pieces didn't fit. Or maybe they did. Jean, he said slowly, look through my eyes. Tell me what you see. A sharp inhale. Then panic. Logan, get out of there, right now. I'm on my... Logan! Jean's scream shattered the moment. Her body flared with radiant energy, raw emotion sending shockwaves through the room, knocking them all out. Central Park, midnight. 2 NYPD officers patrolled the empty park, their night shift dull, until they saw it. A flash of light. They rushed toward the source, and their stomachs turned. A burned skeleton lay in the grass. The skull still wore a familiar scorched mask. 3 adamantium claws protruded from a single hand. One officer gasped, Allah have mercy. Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Moments later. Silence. Not a single light. The mansion's backup systems were dead. The hallways, dark and lifeless. Something was wrong. Storm pushed open the front door, stepping inside. Hello. Her voice echoed, swallowed by the emptiness. No answer. She moved through the kitchen. Everything in Salem Center had looked normal. But here, the darkness wasn't just a power failure, it was something else. Then Xavier's office. Bodies. Cyclops, unconscious. Nick Fury, slumped against the wall. Jean Grey, lying still, eyes wide open. Professor X groaned, stirring. Storm rushed to his side. Charles, what happened? His voice was weak. Logan. Storm's blood ran cold. That's impossible. Xavier's eyes darkened. I felt him die. A voice cut through the tension. Nick Fury, rubbing his aching head. What the hell hit us? They were all down at the same time. Lights out. Power dead. Not just a blackout. Something bigger. Scott groaned, lifting Jean's limp body. We need to get her to the infirmary. Now. Fury pulled out his cell phone. Dead. Even the shield-grade hardware built to withstand EMPs was fried. They were hit by something else. Something. Personal. Then, movement at the door. Gambit, carrying Rogue's unconscious body. His coat was torn, eyes burning with anger. Ah, found her by the lake, he muttered. Whatever hit us. She took the worst of it. A few minutes later, Fury's phone, which had just come back online, rang. A moment later, his face turned grim. He looked at Xavier, then Cyclops. It's Logan. Silence. Scott's jaw tightened. What about him? Fury swallowed. He's dead. Xavier's underground levels. The X-Men gathered in the underground levels of the mansion, standing before a singular, uninvited guest. Sabertooth. Fury had barely finished delivering the news of Wolverine's death when the alarms flickered to life, briefly, only to die again as Sabertooth forced his way inside. Now, face to face with Storm, the feral mutant snarled. You killed him. Storm's fingers twitched. What? You killed him. His roar sent a chill down the spines of everyone in the room. Cyclops stepped forward. Stand down. But Sabertooth wasn't backing down. He lunged. Storm met him head-on, lightning flashing across the darkened room. They crashed into the danger room, a storm of violence, electricity, and unfiltered rage. Sabertooth wanted revenge. Storm wanted to survive. Despite Cyclops' orders to stand down, Storm tried to kill Sabertooth in front of everyone, but only succeeded in burning his face and destroying his eyes. He turned toward them, putting the burns and the empty sockets where his eyes used to be on full display. You think just 'cause Storm took my eyes, the fight's over? His voice was guttural. X-Men, it's only just begun. Elsewhere, a trio of mysterious figures monitored their agent inside Xavier's school, the same agent who killed Wolverine. Shut down the safe house. Let the X-Men deal with our overzealous spy. Back at the mansion. As Sabertooth accused Storm of murder, she denied everything. His babbling must be shock, she told the team. Don't take him seriously. Cyclops disagreed. Sabertooth came for a reason. Maybe his answers would help them find Logan. But then, Sabertooth collapsed. Gambit checked his pulse. He was alive. Barely. Get a medikit, Scott ordered. Storm scoffed. You mean the infirmary or the brig? Shadowcat phased up through the floor, watching Storm with quiet unease. She'd never seen Ororo act this way before. Then, Xavier. His mind reached into Jean Grey's unconscious thoughts, tapping into her psi-link with Logan. He saw what Jean saw, felt what Logan felt. The betrayal, the shock, the pain. And then, the final image, Storm. Standing over his charred body, watching the light fade from his eyes. Xavier's breath hitched. Jean's body jerked. She gasped, eyes flying open, wide with horror, and screamed just one word. Storm! The force of the memory knocked Xavier out. Suddenly, Cyclops received an incoming telepathic message from Professor X. He didn't have time to explain, but he informed Scott to detain Storm and Sabertooth. Meanwhile, in the infirmary, Jean rose from the table and shouted, "I'm coming for you, murderer!" Projecting herself into the danger room, she appeared as an enormous, menacing, crimson-hued manifestation and reached out for Storm. "You killed Logan!" Storm merely laughed. The sudden spike in her powers quickly sapped Jean's remaining energy. Unable to hold the astral projection for long, she grew faint and back in the infirmary, collapsed into Beast's arms. The X-Men turned to Storm. She lashed out, lightning surged, crackling through the halls. Storm fled, locking the team in the danger room. But Shadowcat phased through the walls, cutting her off in the hallway. Storm's full fury struck her. Wind, lightning, the raw force of nature. But Shadowcat endured. And then she slashed Storm across the face with a single adamantium claw. The fight wasn't over. It had only just begun.